Krishna. Sorry?
Little water?
Water will be nice, because I want my voice is always.
Lower?
Vill du sjunga Radha Madhava?
Ja, jag kan.
Om du vill så är jag tacksam. Lyssna på det här extra. Ni får gärna komma lite längre fram. Varsågoda. Det är inte så farligt som jag ser ut.
Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Radha Madhava ki Jai.
Guru Premananda.
Hari Hari.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So today is the appearance day of Lord Rama, and I chose a little verse with a little purport, which Srila Prabhupada read many times on Navami. And this verse is not from our standard books, it's from Brahma Samhita, but Brahma Samhita is a standard book, I would say. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, so this is verse number from chapter 5, which is the only existing chapter of Brahma Samhita. All the other ones are lost. Verse number 39. Rama Adi. Please repeat. Rama Adi.
Rama Adi.
Murtishu.
Murtishu.
Kala.
Kala.
Niyamena.
Niyamena.
Ishtam.
Ishtam.
Nana.
Nana.
Avataram.
Avataram.
Akarot.
Akarot.
Bhuvaneshu.
Bhuvaneshu.
Kintu.
Kintu.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Svayam.
Svayam.
Samhabhavat.
Samhabhavat.
Parama.
Parama.
Humanyo.
Humanyo.
Govindam.
Govindam.
Adipurusham.
Adipurusham.
Tam.
Tam.
Aham.
Aham.
Bhajami.
Bhajami.
So we don't have the verse written anywhere, so I will just read it myself. Ramadi Murtishu Kalaniyamena Tishtam Nanavataram Makarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramam Pumanyo Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So now we're going to read the translation word by word. First the Sanskrit and the English. Rama Adi.
Rama Adi.
Rama Adi.
Rama Adi.
The incarnation of Lord Rama, etc. etc. Murtishu.
Murtishu.
In different forms.
In different forms.
Kala Niyamena.
Kala.
By the order of plenary portions.
By the order of plenary portions.
Tishtam.
Tishtam.
Existing.
Existing.
Nana.
Nana.
Various.
Various.
Avataram.
Avataram.
Incarnations.
Incarnations.
Akarot.
Akarot.
Executed.
Executed.
Bhuvaneshu.
Bhuvaneshu.
Within the worlds.
Within the world.
Kintu.
Kintu.
But.
But.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Svayam.
Svayam.
Personally.
Personally.
Samabhavat.
Samabhavat.
Appeared.
Appeared.
Parama.
Parama.
The Supreme.
The Supreme.
Puman.
Woman.
Person.
Person.
Yaha.
Yaha.
Who.
Who.
Govindam.
Govinda.
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 Adipurusham.
Adipurusham.
The original person.
The original person.
Tam.
Tam.
Him.
Him.
Aham.
Aham.
I.
I.
Bhajami.
Bhajami.
Worship.
Worship.
So the translation, which I think this is for Bashila Bhaktisiddhanta, maybe this is a little modernized, but this was originally translated by Bashila Bhaktisiddhanta. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and in the different avatars in the world, in the forms of Rama, Nishinga, Vamana, etc., has as his subjective portions. You can please repeat after me. I worship Govinda,
I worship Govinda,
the primeval Lord,
the primeval Lord,
who manifested himself
who manifested himself
personally as Krishna
personally as Krishna
and the different avatars
and the different avatars
in this world,
in this world,
in the forms of Rama,
in the forms of Rama,
Nishinga,
Nishinga,
Vamana,
Vamana,
etc.,
etc.,
has his subjective portions.
as his subjective portions.
Purport, which is very short. His subjective portions as the avatars, Rama, etc., appear from Vaikuntha, and his own form Krishna manifests himself with Vraja in this world from Goloka. The underlying sense is that Krishna Chaitanya, identical with Krishna himself, also brings about by his appearance the direct manifestation of Godhead himself. This is the verse. Little bit, how to say, cryptic. One thing we can understand from this verse, which is interesting, is that Lord Krishna, when he manifests together with the holy Dham of Raja, he manifests directly from Goloka, while the other avatars, which is said here, which starts with Rama, with Lord Rama, Ramachandra, whose appearance days today, they appear from Vaikuntha. And Lord Chaitanya is also said he's identical with Krishna himself. So he comes also from Goloka. Lord Rama is very famous in India, and I'm by no way expert in the Ramayana. Ramayana is a very extensive work which relates the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, whose appearance day we have today, and who is incarnation, the form of Krishna. Our Bhagavatam, for instance, which we have like in 15 or 20 volumes, I don't know, different editions, is 18,000 verses, and the Ramayana is 24,000 verses. So it's a big, long work. It's written in a very interesting way because it is stories into stories into stories into stories. You know, there's like at least five different levels. Somebody was going somewhere and they met somebody who was doing this in his previous life and was connected with that, and I mean, it's very, very intricate. And I think probably all those who are from Indian origin, they know much better Ramayana than me. So one thing which is interesting to understand is that the Supreme Lord, he explains in Bhagavad Gita that the main reason for his appearance is to protect the devotees. It's Paritranaya Sadhunam. This is a very famous verse from Bhagavad Gita. And to destroy the miscreants, the demons. So there is the two main reasons of his appearance, but especially to please the devotees. With the miscreants there is many other weapons to take care of them. It's not necessary for the Lord to appear personally, but his main goal is to please the devotees. Then Krishna also explains in the Bhagavad Gita, in connection with this, that those who understand the reason for his appearance, this is a verse, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, Aham Yaviti Tatvataha. So those who understand the reasons for my appearance and activities in this world, they will not be born again. And to understand the activities of Krishna, maybe it's not so easy, but at least we can understand the principles. One of them I already mentioned. It's that the Supreme Lord appears to protect his devotees. the Supreme Lord also appears to exhibit his pastimes. And when the Supreme Lord appears, he appears in his original transcendental form. This is a little bit explained, at least in one book I know from Srimad Bhagavatam, that when the Supreme Lord appears, he appears in his original spiritual form. The problem is a little bit that not everybody can see that original spiritual form. So some people, they see the Lord as a human being. So therefore, there is always these people who say, you know, Krishna was just a human being, or Ram was just a human being, but the devotees, they see this eternal transcendental form of the Lord. Another thing which is important, even if we cannot understand all the reasons for the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because in general there are many reasons. It's not just there is just one reason and that's it. There is many reasons, many circumstances which are, in general, when the Supreme Lord performs an activity, it's not just one little problem which is solved or one goal which is accomplished, but many different goals, because the Supreme Lord is all powerful and everything he does has enormous repercussions. So even if we cannot understand all of this immediately, the Vedic scriptures provide us with these different narrations of the incarnation of the Lord. Like one of them is what we're commemorating today, the narrations of the activities of Lord Ramachandra. And the interesting thing is that when one studies these pastimes and one studies them intensively, one kind of, I wouldn't say one partakes, this is not correct, one doesn't partake in these pastimes, but these pastimes become very vivid. So one is associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can associate with Supreme Lord in different ways. We know in Hare Krishna movement, in our movement, one of the most important is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna mantra, but also by reading or speaking about the pastimes of the Lord. When we can do that very intensively, then we are actually taking part in those pastimes. So therefore, actually Srila Prabhupada advised us that every day we should read his books. I don't know if he said at least for 1 hour, but maybe nobody exactly remembers, but that we should study and read his books. Because what happens when one studies the Srila Prabhupada's books and the Vedic literatures in general is that Krishna guides us to deeper and deeper levels of understanding. And especially if one is chanting and reading at the same time, then many different changes happen internally in ourselves. So I will try to give a little bit, as I said, I'm not an expert, but I will give a little bit hint of the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. So Lord Ramachandra, he was a king, and he was also the son of a king. He was the son of Maharaj Dasaratha. As I said before, so as I said before, there is many different goals to be accomplished by an incarnation of the Lord. But one can say that one of the main goals which are very prominent in the appearance of Lord Ramachandra are that Lord Ramachandra and his associates, they emulgate eternal values, like justice. Lord Ramachandra was very just. He was always respectful to his promises. he was very obedient to his father. He loved, as a king, he loved his citizens, and he was ready to die, not just, he was not saying that, but he was ready to die and do everything if there was any disturbance with any of his citizens or in his kingdom. He was also very faithful as a husband. That one of the things that Lord Ramachandra is known for is that he took a vow to have only one wife. His father had like 350, around 350, I read in Ramayana. But he took the vow, only one wife. And he was very meticulous in following all his promises, in being just to everybody. He always behaving correctly towards his superiors. He accepted a guru also, which is an example, even if he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, another thing which is interesting in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, which we also have seen in the pastimes of other forms of the Supreme Lord. Like I was reading, there is one pastime which is called Brahma Vimoha Lila. This is the bewilderment of Lord Brahma. To tell the story short, because it's not the focus today, but the thing is like this, that Lord Brahma steals the cowherd boys and the calves while they are in the forest, and he hides them. And this happens on the appearance day of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram, we cannot understand, because he's the Supreme Lord, we cannot understand if he's playing or what is happening, but in reality, Lord Balaram acts like he didn't understand what's going on, because he was not there on that day, and you know, it's a little bit ambiguous. So we see this very much in the pastimes of the Lord. It's not that the Lord always behaves like when he's present on earth, like the absolute controller, or as somebody who just knows everything. You know, he behaves, it's a little bit ambiguous, and this is very interesting, because it's also one of the qualities of a great personality is humility. So we can see that the Supreme Lord also exhibits this humility by either playing that he is ignorant, or by actually voluntarily ignoring the facts which are going on. So we see this in the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We see this in the pastimes. Chandra, he appeared in Treta Yuga. So the Kali Yuga is 400,000 years. It has just started. The age before this, it's Dvapara Yuga. It's 800,000 years. The age before is Treta Yuga. It's 1.2 million years. So he appeared in during Svayambhuva Mano. So, I mean, it's difficult to say, but 1.5 to 2 million years. But I don't think it makes much difference. 1.5 or 2 million. 2 million years, I mean, it's just enormous amount of time. One thing which is interesting is that when they start to make this research on about how long there is human beings on Earth, they always backdating, you know. Before they said, the first human beings was Neanderthal 10,000 years ago. Now, I think the most recent, which they found somewhere in Kenya or Uganda, somewhere in East Africa, it's like 2 million years, which they dated. So we can understand that human beings have been on this planet for a very, very long time, much more than what was originally believed. It's interesting because when you look at the Vedas and you look at the modern science, many things which were denied from the beginning, like the scientists in the beginning, they believed that universe is static. But the Vedas said the universe is in expansion. So nowadays, the scientists, they also accept this fact that the universe is in expansion. So sometimes they get near to the Vedic. So about 2.5 to 2 million years ago. And his father, his name was Maharaj Dasaratha, and he came in a dynasty of kings, which came from Swayambhuva Manu, and one king which is called Ikshvaku, which maybe doesn't tell us so much, but a great part of the descriptions in Ramayana is about how ideal society was in those days. How people were satisfied. There was no poverty, and actually it's explained that there was no poverty because nobody was greedy. Everybody was just helping each other and giving to each other. So there was no greed in society, and therefore there was no poverty. Because if somebody was lacking something, the others would give. And of course it was a God-centered society, which in one sense we know from the Vedas that to have a God-centered society is actually the key to have a harmonious society, because if one is able to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then everybody else automatically becomes satisfied. This is this famous example that when you water the tree, you water the roots of the tree, and the whole tree becomes green. And so this Maharaj Dasaratha, being a great king, he was worried that he had no children. He was becoming older, and sometimes we think that this worries about having no children is maybe something selfish, but for a king like Maharaj Dasaratha, it was not a selfish desire. It was just the responsibility for future generations. I mean, how will society be taken care of if there is no king? So he was quite worried about, he was becoming old, he was coming to the age of retiring, and he was thinking about what shall I do? So in previous ages, and even today, people do yagyas, they do fire sacrifices in order to have a child, sometimes, otherwise for different calls. So the spiritual master of Maharaj Dasaratha, whose name was Vashishta Muni, he advised him to make Ashvamedha Yagya. Ashvamedha Yagya is a special kind of sacrifice. Ashva means horse. And what the king would do, the king would let loose a horse. And this horse would go around for 1 year. And everybody knew what this horse meant. It means if you don't accept, it means if you don't challenge this horse, you accept the supremacy of the king. So one had to be like a kind of emperor to this Ashvamedha Yagya. So they released this horse. And meanwhile, while this horse was going away, and this Maharaj Dasaratha, he had a chariot driver whose name was Sumatra. And he told him, I don't know where he got it from, but he told him that Sanat Kumara has said, if you get a certain person to to get this yagya, to make this yagya, you will get 4 sons. You know, I have heard this from Sanat Kumara. The name of this person, who was at that time, he was kind of a boy, is Rishi Shringa. Rishi Shringa is a special character. A special character in the sense that he grew up with his father in the forest, and he didn't know there was men and women. He was just completely innocent. He didn't know there was men and women. So at one point, and this will be related with this story, there was a drought in the kingdom of one king, whose name is Romapada. He was a close friend with Maharaj Dasarata, so therefore this is related. One relation between this Maharaj Dasarata and Romapada is that Romapada, they didn't have any children, so they were very sad because they couldn't have children. Seems to be a problem in the kingly, how do you say, in these kingly bloodlines. They always have difficulty to have children. I don't know exactly why, but so he sent his daughter to live with this Maharaj Romapada, so therefore they were related. So anyway, so in the kingdom of Maharaj Romapada, there was a great drought, and they wanted to make a sacrifice in order to bring the rain. And in order to make this sacrifice, they wanted to get a sage. So they asked this Rishi Shringa to come. And he said, no, I will never leave the forest. I'm completely satisfied here. You know, making sacrifices, studying the Vedas with my father, will not come. So what Romapada Maharaj did, which was maybe a little tricky, he sent many girls. He sent a bunch of girls to visit this Rishi Shringa. And Rishi Shringa said, I mean, he didn't know there was men and women. So, I mean, they were very pleasant and it was very nice. And they said, why don't you come with us to Romapada's capital? And, you know, you can make this yagya for Maharaj Romapada and bring the rain. So Rishi Shringa, he agreed, and he went with all these girls to the capital of Maharaj Romapada, and he performed a yagya, and it came a lot of rain. Later on, this Rishi Shringa, he actually married the daughter of Maharaj Dasarata. That sound. He actually he married the daughter of Maharaj Dasarata. So there was this relationship with Maharaj Dasarata. So they invited this Rishi Shringa. He was living together with his wife in the kingdom of Maharaj Dasarata. Maharaj Romapada. And they invited him to perform this Ashwamedha Yagya. And he came. This Yagya, because this Rishi Shringa, he was very pure. He was very pure-minded. There was nothing, nothing mundane about him. He was a transcendental personality. So this Yagya was very powerful. And actually Lord Vishnu came, Lord Brahma came, and all the demigods came. I would not say physically, but because they are not, some of them are not physical personalities. But they all came and they were present during the sacrifice and they accepted their share of the sacrifices. So it showed up that one of the reasons for the appearance of the demigods, amongst them Lord Brahma, who recited this Brahma Samhita, which we read, is that Lord Brahma was presenting to Lord Vishnu, who was there at the sacrifice, that there is a problem in the world because the sages, there was many sages living in the forest in Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga. They were performing sacrifices, and these kind of people, they are called Rakshasas. Rakshas means actually cannibal, if one is translating strictly. They are man-eaters, so evil personalities. And they are not interested in any kind of sacrifices or godly, how do you say, God consciousness. They are kind of evil, and when these sages started to perform yagyas, they would come and they would throw like garbage, and they would throw trees and dust and all kinds of substances on the fire, and they couldn't do anything, because normally Brahmanas, they are not supposed to fight. Brahmanas, they are peaceful, they cannot take any weapons and so on. So Lord Brahma presented this to Lord Vishnu. There is this big problem with Rakshasas, and there is also the chief of them, whose name is Ravana, which we're going to appear a little bit later. Ravana, the name says everything. It's the man who makes everybody else cry. Not such a beautiful name, but it's what Ravana means. He makes everybody sad and cry. So anyway, the Ravana was the chief of these Rakshasas, and he had his kingdom in Lanka, but the situation in those days was that people were very pure in general, not the Rakshasas, but in general, but everybody had powers, They had powers like to curse others, they have powers to transfer themselves in the space, in time, things like that. So Lord Ravana, maybe I shouldn't say Lord Ravana, Ravana used to send these different agents to disturb the sages. And so Lord Vishnu said, okay, so in the presence of Lord Brahma and all the demigods, he said, okay, demigods, you have to help in this, to solve this situation. So you please, all of you, you incarnate as monkeys. This, we normally, I don't know if there's a picture, we have Hanuman. In my office I have a picture like it's 1 meter long of Hanuman. But they are not really monkeys, they are called Vanaras. So they are quite special. It's said, like, for instance, they can grab an elephant. So they are gigantic. Oh, here is Hanuman. Jaya. So the Vanaras, they are, he asked the demigods to incarnate as Vanaras. And anyway, the sacrifice was finished, and there was, normally in these sacrifices, there is an offering of sweet rice to the deities, to Lord Vishnu. And because the specific function of this sacrifice was for Maharaj Dasaratha to have children, to have sons, he gave this, it's called payasana, to his queens, and they all, in due course of time, they gave birth he gave to his three prominent queens, and they gave birth to 4 boys. It was Ramachandra, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna. So 4 boys were born. 2 were twins, Lakshman and Shatrughna. So they were born and they were raised in the castle and so on. When Lord Rama was 16, still a young boy, one sage, whose name is Vishvamitra Muni, is one of the ancient sages. It's long life, they have lived, and they were very powerful. So the Vishvamitra Muni came to the kingdom of Maharaj Dasaratha. And Maharaj Dasaratha, of course, he was very humble. He washed his feet, he worshipped him, offered him whatever he wanted. I mean, Vishvamitra Muni didn't want anything. He was dressed in bark. He lived in the forest, very simply. So in these visits, I mean, it's also customary to offer some charity. So Maharaj Dasaratha asked Vishvamitra Muni, do you want something? Is there something I can offer you? You know, I have this whole kingdom at your disposal. And Vishvamitra said, I mean, I don't need anything for myself, you know, I'm just satisfied as I am, but it would be nice if you could send Lord Ramachandra with me, because we have big problems in the forest. We have all these Rakshasas. When we start to doing sacrifices, they come and destroy everything. You know, we are not allowed to worship Lord Vishnu. They are destroying everything, disturbing. And Maharaj Dasaratha was wondering, I mean, he's just a young boy. I mean, what is he going to do? If you want, I can come with my army. Maharaj Dasaratha said, but Vishvamitra said, no, they are these Rakshasas, these demons who come to destroy the sacrifices, they are controlled by Ravana. And you cannot defeat Ravana. He's too powerful. Even with all your army, you will destroy everything. So, but I mean, how this boy is going to defeat Ravana? So, the spiritual master of Dasaratha, who is called Vashishta Muni, who I've heard about before, he told him, anyway, let him go, because Vishvamitra Muni, he has all the weapons actually, but he's a Brahman, he cannot use them. So he will give everything to Lord Ramachandra, and he'll be able to do anything. Don't worry. So anyway, so Vishvamitra Muni took Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman. They followed with him to the forest, to his ashram, and he actually became his guru, Lord Ramachandra's guru, or their guru, and he instructed them in all different Vedic arts. He also instructed them in martial arts. And they became very powerful warriors with all these weapons. And as predicted, when they started to make a fire sacrifice, these Rakshasas came and started to destroy. And Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana, they finished them off. They killed these Rakshasas, and there was peace for the sages who were living in the forest. After this peaceful situation, because in those days, sages, they used to travel by foot from place to place. So Vishvamitra Muni, he took Lord Ramachandra to a place which is called Mithila. Mithila is actually on the border of Nepal. It's very much on the north of India. So they walked there, and there was a great king whose name was Janaka. And it so happened that when they came to the kingdom of Mithila, Janaka Maharaj, they were just having a ceremony, which is in Sanskrit called Swayambara, when his daughter, Janaka Maharaj's daughter, whose name was Sita Devi, she was going to choose her husband. So Sita Devi was not exactly the daughter of Janaka Maharaj in the normal biological sense, but what happened is that when they made a sacrifice, fire sacrifice in those days, they used to plow the earth. They used to plow clean and then level everything, and then they would make the yagya. So when they were plowing for this sacrifice, it was a big ceremony. They had the oxen, and brahmanas chanting mantras, you know, and all kinds of things, flowers, and I mean, it was a very pompous ceremony. So, so when they were plowing the earth, all of a sudden comes this little baby. It was Sita Devi. So she came from the earth. So anyway, so Sita Devi lived in the palace of Maharaj Janaka. And Maharaj Janaka, he had a special bow, you know, which you shoot arrows. And this bow was given to his family by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gave it to someone, and somebody gave to his predecessors. So this was an enormous bow. It is said that, I mean, they kept it on a big cart, and you need like 800 men to carry this bow, to push it around. Nobody could lift it. So one day, I mean, this was in some kind of museum or temple, or this bow of Lord Shiva. And one day, Sita Devi was cleaning. She was in this kind of temple or museum cleaning, and Maharaj Janaka, her father and mother, they were also there. And when she was dusting off, she lifts the bow and just cleans the dust and put back the bow. A bow which nobody could lift. You needed 800 men to push it. So Maharaj Janaka understood, I mean, this is not a normal personality. So then he made this plan that the only person who can marry Sita Devi is somebody who can lift this bow and stretch it and shoot arrows with it. So he made this ceremony, which is called Svayambara, and many princes and kings, they came, and from different parts of the earth, or probably mostly from around India, and they want to lift this bow, but nobody could even, it would not even move 1 millimeter. It was, I mean, it was an enormous thing. So when Lord Ramachandra came to Mithila, to this kingdom of Maharaj Janaka, and it was his turn, he lifted the bow, stretched it, and he broke it. So then he was, Mother Sita was actually waiting. They had been, because Maharaj Dasaratha, he has been in, Vishvamitra Muni and Lord Rama and Lakshman, they've been going around in the city. So the maidservants and the friends of Sita Devi, they have seen him, and they told Sita Devi, come and look, there's Ramachandra. And Sita Devi knew immediately, this will be my husband. So they married with a great feast, and Maharaj Dasaratha came, and there was enormous ceremony. And after that, because these Rakshasas have been killed, and the situation was okay for the sages in the forest, then Lord Ramachandra went back to Ayodhya, to the city of Ayodhya. And the action continues in Ayodhya. The thing was like this, that Maharaj Dasaratha, the father of Lord Ramachandra, he was a little bit unsure about Lord Ram. Unsure in the sense that he was thinking maybe he wants to become a renunciate. He doesn't want to become the king. He has lived in the forest with Vishvamitra Muni. He has learned the Vedas. He had learned so many things. Maybe he will come back and he doesn't want to be the king. So he sent his guru to speak with Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra said, no, he doesn't have to be worried. I will accept to be the king. So he was very satisfied. And he started to plan for the coronation of of Lord Ramachandra. Coronation, it does not mean that you take over the power of the king or emperor immediately, but you are appointed as successor and you start kind of to get involved. So anyway, so they chose Lord Ramachandra. He chose Lord Ramachandra, and everybody was very happy because, I mean, these 4 sons of the king, they were the favorites of everybody in this city of Ayodhya. So everything was being prepared, and I mean, there was these 4 sons from 3 different queens, and one of the queens. Anyway, I will not go there immediately. So anyway, this Maharaj Dasarati was starting to prepare for the coronation of Ram, but he started to see some inauspicious signs. In the Vedas, there is sometimes description of inauspicious signs. Some are very extreme, like when you go to the mirror and you don't see your own picture. This is considered to be very, you can imagine, you go to the mirror in the morning and you look at the mirror, nobody there. Very inauspicious. It means you are in another realm already. Anyway, so there is a script. So he started to see these different kind of inauspicious signs. So he said, okay, let's do this coronation quickly, and he booked it, for the next day. So one of the maidservants of another queen, which is called Kaikeya, and she's the mother of Bharat, Maharaj Bharat. So she started to make politics. She went to her queen and said, you know what's happening? Lord Ramachandra is going to be coronated tomorrow. Do you know what's going to happen to you? You will not be the main queen anymore. You will be just a servant. You should not accept this. So she poisoned her because actually this Kaikeyi, is her name Kaikeyi, the mother of Bharat. She actually loved Rama like her own son, but because of association, this bad association, this is a very important lesson here for the Ramayana. Because of this bad association, she got influenced and she started to find faults. And this shows us it's important for us to always choose a good association. Because if we don't have good association, sometimes we think we are very strong, we will not believe anybody. But we are weaker, and there is ways in which we take in association. So anyway, so this Kaikeyi became very, very fearful that something bad would happen to her. And under the influence of this maidservant, she went to the king, and the king owed her some favors from the previous time. And she said, I want 2 things. First of all, that my son Bharata be crowned as the king. And number 2, that Lord Ram goes into the forest for 14 years. Because she also had been brainwashed that he must go away, because otherwise you will get a big army and kill your son or destroy him and take over the throne. I mean, it was just pure politics. So anyway, because Maharaj Dasarata had promised these things to Kaikeyi, make this promise that he would grant her 2 benedictions. So she got these 2 benedictions. First of all, that Bharata, her son, would become the king, and second of all, that Lord Ramachandra would be exiled to the forest. Actually, Lord Bharata was not there at that time. He was away visiting Kaikeya's grandfather. But So anyway, because it was a vow, the king had made a vow to his wife, and he had to follow it. So he called Ramachandra, and he said, "The plans are changed. Sorry, but I gave her this benediction I have to follow, so you have to go to the forest for 14 years. Immediately, his wife, Sita Devi, said, "I go with you." And Lord Ramachandra said, "No, come on. You are a princess. You have grown in a palace. How are you going to walk in the forest dressed in bark?" They used to dress in the bark of trees. How is it possible? You're going to live, there is no comforts. There is wild animals. No. But Sita Devi was very strong. She said, "I'm going with you." Lakshman also wanted to go because he wanted to protect Lord Ramachandra, and he wanted to protect Mother Sita. Said, "I will go with you and protect both of you." And then the wife of Lakshmana also wanted to go. Her name was Urmila. But Lakshman said, if you come, I must protect you, and I must protect Sita and Rama. It's too much. You must stay. Anyway, there is also a reason why she stayed. But so anyway, so they left for the forest, and Maharaj Dasarati became very sick immediately, and he kind of died the next day when they left to the forest. And it was a big drama. Bharata was not there at the time. Bharata was away, and the other son, his brother, Shatrugna, they were away. So they called for them because now they must be the king, and Bharata was very upset. When should I finish? It's 24,000 verses. We have been maybe through 100 of them. So Maharaj, Bharata, when he came back to the city of Ayodhya, together with Shatrugna, they found that just everybody was completely sad, because Lord Ramachandra had left, and the city was completely empty. And Lord Ramachandra had gone to the forest. There is, as I said before, there is many stories in this Ramayana. And one thing which I found really funny is that Lord Ramachandra had to cross a river which was next to the city. I think it's called Surayu River. Surayu, yeah? Surayu River. And they went in the afternoon. They went there to the river, and he was actually followed by everybody in the city in Ayodhya. So he and Sita Devi and Lakshman, and they had to cross the river. So there was a boatman there, and they asked, "You want to drive us over?" And the boatman said, "Yeah, we're very happy to drive you over." So he drove over the Lord Ramachandra, and Lakshman, and Sita. And on the other side, then Sita wanted to give her a ring. This is the payment. We have no money, we're just thrown out of the city. We have nothing, but at least I want to give you my ring. And said, no, I don't want any money. Because we work on the same trade. He told this to Lord Ramachandra. We are on the same business. I don't want to take pay. Lord Ramachandra didn't understand. What do you mean we are in the same business? Yes, the boatman said, I transport people from one side of the river to the other, and you transport people from the material world to the spiritual world. So Lord Ramachandra said, this is a really funny boatman. And they were very happy, and this boatman got all the blessings. Anyway, so they went to the forest, and they stayed in the forest for 14 years. In the forest, many things happened. And amongst them is that Mother Sita, the wife of Lord Ramachandra, she was kidnapped by this Ravana. This Ravana, he has heard about the beauty of Mother Sita, and he wanted to marry her. Of course, all his advisors were telling him, even if they were demons, don't do this. This is a failed project. Don't get into this. You're gonna get completely burned. No, but he insisted. He insisted, and he made a scheme that when they were living in the forest. Anyway, there is it's a kind of a long story. We cannot really get into it, but what happened is that Lord Ram left the hermitage where they lived. They lived in a little cottage, and he left Lakshman there to take care of Sita. Because it was a jungle. So when Lord Ramachandra left, this Ravana, I don't remember if it was directly him or through one of his agents, they imitated the voice of Lord Ram. It said, "Help, help!" And Sita Devi was very worried. She said, "My husband is in great danger. Lakshman, go and save him." And said, "No. Nobody can kill Lord Ram. he can defend himself." He knew who Lord Ramachandra was. Anyway, so she kept insisting. So he made some protection. You can protect things also by mantra. So he made a ring around the hermitage, and he left looking for Lord Ramachandra, but Lord Ramachandra was far away. It was not he who was screaming. It was just a trick. So anyway, because of this, and then the Ravana came disguised as a monk, as a sage, in the dress of a sage, and he asked for water, and he broke this ring. Anyway, so he took Sita. And then when Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman came back, they understood what had happened. So they marched into the forest, and they were looking for Mother Sita. And this is the time when they meet all these monkeys. You remember before I was saying that Lord Vishnu asked the demigods to incarnate these monkeys, these vanaras. And these monkeys, they were the incarnation of the demigods. They were all great devotees of the Lord. So they were all completely fired up to go and get back Mother Sita. So they also have other animals. This is quite interesting, because they also had other animals. They had eagle. They had one eagle, Jatayu, and her sister. And they actually flew very high. I actually have read some time ago that an eagle can see one little mouse, from 1 kilometer high. It's quite amazing. So anyway, so this Jatayu, Jatayu was dead, but his sister, she flew very high, and she saw that Sita was in the city of Lanka, in the city of Ravana, and she had been kidnapped. So things were warming up a little bit. So Lord Ramachandra asked Hanuman, who was one of his main assistants, okay, you go to this city of Lanka, which is actually it's Ceylon, Sri Lanka nowadays. Before it was called Ceylon. So Sri Lanka, so go to Lanka, and you bring my wedding ring and you give it to Sita, so she understands that this is not a trick. So Hanuman was very special, and there is also many many stories about Hanuman. One story which is quite funny is that when Hanuman was a baby, one day he was hungry, and he thought that the sun was an apple. So he just took the sun and ate it. And all the universe was, at least this part of the universe, everything was dark. They had to tell Hanuman, give back the sun. So he was very powerful. So he jumped to Lanka, and he told Sita that Lord Ramachandra is coming, and here is the ring, which proves, that I'm not, that I'm real. I'm a real messenger of Lord Ramachandra. So he gave the ring, but he said, this was a little boring, such a quick mission, just giving a ring and telling a few words. So he decided, let me have some fun. So he put fire on the whole city of Lanka. He burned down everything completely. He went from house to house, and they couldn't catch him because he was a monkey. He was jumping, from place to place. If you've been to India, you understand what I'm talking about. You cannot catch a monkey there so fast. So anyway, so Hanuman, he put fire on everything in Lanka. And then, actually at this point, Ravana started to understand that my end is near. And then the story continues. And Lord Ramachandra, he goes to Lanka, he defeats Ravana and his agents, and he frees Mother Sita, and they all go back to Ayodhya. So anyway, as I said, we cannot tell 24,000 verses in a short, but this is more or less what I chose to speak about. If you have any questions or comments, because I think some of you are knowledgeable about Ramayana.
Actually, one comment is when Hanuman goes to Sita, he asks why all these things? You just come with me and I can take you back. I just fly and we go. Then she says it's not about me going from here, it's about dharma winning against adharma. The bad evil should die before I move. Otherwise it's very easy for Sita just to curse Ravana and gone. 1 minute everything is fixed.
Very nice point.
But we need to wait until the good time comes. So the situation should change, not just take the shortcuts.
Complete the job,
Yeah.
as they say.
It was also so powerful, Dasharatha, when she made the food for the first time, Sita gave Dasharatha.
You have to speak a little loud because everybody has to listen.
Yeah. So Sita was also very powerful. So as we know, she can lift the bow. She was also have so many powers. So one time that she made the food for the King Dasharatha, there was one piece of little stick in this dal or some soup or something. So she focuses her eyes and the stick burns. Dasharatha saw, and Dasharatha said that whenever you feel angry, you can burn anyone. So you focus with the stick, and so at the time when Ravan came close, he put a stick in front of him and her
So that was Sita.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
That's why she can't go.
Very nice.
Why would Arjun's army wear the banner with Hanuman during the battle?
Because wherever there is Hanuman, there is victory. Hanuman symbolizes victory.
Why not Rama? Why Hanuman?
Actually, Rama is the strategist. Hanuman is the real handsome. I would say. I love Hanuman. He's the hero. He's the hero who never says he's a hero. He's a hands-on and Rama is more strategist. It's more like your father and we, because father asks son to do the things and father gives the guidance and he needs someone to really do the things. And it's Hanuman, at least in Ramayana, who does the things. Because we were like going. There is one kanda called Sundara Kanda where Hanuman goes to this Lanka, and he searches whole Lanka. He finds Sita, and there he feels like in the beginning he don't find Sita. He keeps searching, and then he never gives up. He knows that it's mission impossible, but he don't lose the hope from him. He keeps trying, and finally when he finds Sita, he gives the message. He secures everything that, okay, now everything is safe. I got the information. Rama has some information from me. And then he starts burning Lanka. Actually, it's 80% of Lanka is burnt even by Hanuman. Maybe another 20, he can do it. But he wants Rama to do that. So he goes back and tells to Rama that, this is the situation. So Hanuman is more of hope, power, and what do you call the power?
Strength.
Yeah, the strength,
He
the
built the
inner
bridge.
strength.
He
Yeah.
built the bridge with
Yeah.
big blocks,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
strong.
So Hanuman is the inspiration, I would say. That's why they have it, Hanuman, on the chariot.
You happy, Ilya? You're happy with the answer? Yeah. I mean, it's also sometimes one doesn't want to go, a devotee doesn't want to go directly to God and cause a botheration, you know. It could also be that Arjuna, you know, we want to be a little bit discreet because Krishna was already next to him, yeah. So to have Rama there, it's like two different chapters of the personality of God, two different, completely different aspects.
Two different moods of devotion.
Exactly. I mean, anyway, there is many ways. You know, these things which, in these pastimes, there is always many ramifications. But so this was probably a thought of Arjuna. And I mean, Hanuman is worshipped everywhere as the great warrior. You know, he enormously powerful. These monkey armies. If you have the opportunity to read the Ramayana, you can see the destruction they cause. Even for modern standards of weapons, it's a massive destruction.
And also, one more thing is impossibility to possibility. Because when Ravana had this blessings from the god saying like, I'll not be killed by all these, like Gandharva, Yaksha, Kinnara, Kimpusha, all these. But human and monkeys, I don't care. They do nothing to me. So it's okay. I'll not ask for them. So because monkeys, we feel like they can't do anything. From it's impossible. They made it possible, and the main force is like the Hanuman, who is the Sena Nayaka. He's the leader of the army of the monkey thing.
Can we ask, how did they kill Ravana? Was it Hanuman?
No,
Lord Ramachandra.
Rama, of course, yes.
So there was a battle, and Ravana was flying at one point, and he was doing many tricks before that, but at one point he was flying, and with one shot, Lord Ramachandra, he was in the air, I think. He was flying.
It wasn't him who had many heads. He had to count.
Yes, 10.
Yeah, this.
And actually, one of the stories say that his life, he's storing it in his stomach.
Belly button.
And Rama says, no, I'll not, I only aim to head or chest, not under it, no way. And then it's the wind god who diverts it to down. So it's a lot of because there are many rules even when they are fighting in those days, not like materialistic world.
I also read somewhere else that Ravana had his life air in two different places. You know, normally we have our life inside this body, but he put it in two places. So in order to kill him, you had to destroy in both places. So, but as I said, Ramayana it's almost infinite dimensional, and not really, but multi-layered. So if you have the opportunity, you can study that. Especially in these days, we can remember the personality of Godhead, and we can get His blessings. So always on these appearance days, you can pray to Lord Ramachandra. So another important thing which I did not mention is that, we have the Hare Krishna mantra, and there is the name Rama, which can be understood in different ways. It can be Lord Ramachandra, it can be Lord Balaram, and it can be Parashurama. There's these three Ramas. And actually, Prabhupada in one of the lectures, he says that one of the name of Krishna is equal to 3 Ramas. And the devotees ask why? Yeah, because you have Balaram, Ramachandra, and Parashurama. So one name of Krishna is equivalent to 3. And then one name of Krishna is equivalent to 1,000 names of Vishnu. I hope you can follow this. This is many names, many stories. But anyway, so I tried to give a little bit the mood of Ramayana. Okay, if there is nothing, please accept my obeisances. All Lord Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya. Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayana Srimati Prasthaya Dishtane. Same what comes next.
I hope so. You can come little more. 2 times in the mouth, not just 1 time. Thank you. You're here
Welcome.
today with us. It is really an honor, and I can feel and the space change where you are here. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. Giving me the opportunity
We
to speak about Lord Ramachandra.
Thank you.
Who is making the arti? Mohini?
Too much.
So we have kirtan now?
We
Standing
do
or
arti.
sitting?
Standing.
Standing, okay.
You want to
Yeah,
do
but
the
I
arti?
can, but I'll sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to sing the arti?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. You want the text? The arti text.
Are we singing Gora Arati? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll not do that.
Okay.
I haven't done that.
I can.
You can also combine,
After you
Gora
continue with
Arti, and then you can
Krishna.
take Hare Krishna mantras. So
Just to put the text.
you need this or no?
Dear God.